To the Middle East now. Tonight, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel's security forces support a proposed hostage deal, but he insists that the war will still continue. The White House says this potential deal could include a wave of hostages being released.
Among the details of this deal are the release of 50 hostages in exchange for a 6-hour pause in fighting for 4 days, and 150 Palestinian prisoners. The U.S. says children will be a priority. In addition, the deal would allow aid, including fuel and supplies, into Gaza, where civilians are in need.
Joining us once again to discuss this potential deal is Javed Ali, Associate Professor of Practice at the Ford School of Public Policy. Thanks for joining us, Javed.
Absolutely. Always great to be with you.
So Netanyahu says a deal is close, but it seems like we've heard that for days now. He is calling just in the past hour or so on the rest of the Israeli government to back this proposed deal. So can we assume now that the deal is imminent, and how significant is it, if so?
So this potential deal has been discussed in the media for the past several days, and then that the talks only seem to be intensifying in the sense that there are parameters of the deals, as your reporting has indicated, that would be favorable to all sort of parties involved. But I also think there are a number of factors that could potentially make the deal not happen, to include sort of domestic politics in Israel, domestic politics in the United States, sort of battlefield conditions. How does, even if these things start to happen or are put in place, how would both sides, both on the Israel-Hamas side, honor the 6-hour pause in the fighting on a daily basis, or for however many days it's supposed to go on? I mean, these are all really tough things that have to be ironed out. And right now, there's no intermediary or third party on the ground that can try to bring some sort of stability in between Hamas and the Israeli Defense Forces. So there's so many different angles involved, and that's probably why the deal hasn't been finalized yet, and unfortunately, may not happen. Hopefully it will, but again, there's a potential it may not.
And Javed, like I stated, this deal would see 50 hostages released and a 6-hour ceasefire each day for 4 days. But what does Hamas get out of this deal?
It's a great question. Hamas seems to be putting some sort of currency on the number of Palestinian prisoners who would be swapped in the deal. Apparently, they're mostly women and children. But the 6-hour pause for 4 days, one would think that gives Hamas the ability to sort of regroup, to readjust, to move people or weapons either deeper or out of parts of Gaza Strip. And I would have to think that there were probably military professionals on the Israeli Defense Force side who did not want the government to enter into this kind of agreement, because there is the potential for a tactical advantage now to Hamas, and it'll just make whatever Israel is trying to continue to achieve in their military objectives that much harder, unless they think that they've already made significant progress in terms of capturing or killing a significant number of senior Hamas leaders, or destroying the infrastructure of terrorism. And now with this third aspect of getting some of the hostages back, maybe these are all the factors the Israelis on the military side are willing to acknowledge that there's risk involved, but they still see some advantage to that.
And how should we think about that? We have seen Israel go to great lengths before to rescue one Israeli person. So the exchange for 50, are they just taking the risk for whatever tactical advantage Hamas could gain? And I guess, can Hamas gain any advantage greater than Israel's capability?
Yeah, I don't think Hamas can get a greater advantage than Israel, but I do think it speaks to the difficulty of whatever Israel has probably tried to attempt already with respect to hostage recovery or hostage rescue. And as you noted, these are incredibly difficult missions for lots of reasons, even for one person. And there's been media reporting to suggest that the hostages that Hamas still has are somewhere in this interlocking web of tunnels and bunker complexes deep within the Gaza Strip. And I don't think any modern military has enough specialized troops to fight in that kind of urban environment or look for hostages or prisoners in that kind of urban environment and not take serious losses. So that might be a factor on the Israeli military side to say look, they just don't have enough capability to recover that many people. And so the best thing they could hope for now is to get some kind of release, but there's still going to be a significant number of hostages that remain, over 150. And so how will Israel try to get them out as well, even if this first potential deal goes forward?
Like we said, that could happen any moment now. Javed Ali, thank you so much for joining us today.